Thanks for the support as a channel member, Kyle Mollix. Well, I know if I'd have planned this properly, I'd have put this in the intro to yesterday's video, but I forgot. But earlier on today, Leamington was back over on Twitch. I'm continuing from where we left off here on YouTube. Most afternoons, about 1 PM UK time, over on Twitch. If you want to carry on the Leamington story, it's over there. The replay of today's stream's available to watch now, and I'll almost certainly be live again there tomorrow afternoon continuing that story. So Leamington, continuing from where we got to in this series, over on Twitch, twitch.tv/LOLLUJO. Hope to see lots of you over there. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 10 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Championship. We're at home against both Ipswich and Hull. Since you were last with me, we took a little bit of time to get back into form after the wobble that we had around the Chelsea game. I have now officially decided this was a big cup game wobble. You get them all the time in Football Manager. As soon as we drew Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, we stopped winning, and because of the momentum drop that caused, it took us a while to get back into winning form again. But a 91st minute goal from Joe Hugill, his only goal for the club so far against Ipswich, got us back to winning ways, and we've been fine since then, beating Wolves, beating Forest Green, getting a draw away against Barnsley as well. The one thing that hasn't happened since the last episode, remember when I said Brewster was the best striker in the Championship and he was in the Media Dream 11? He's not scored since before the last episode. He is on a horrible run of form. Look at those ratings that he's had for his last, 8, 9 games. He's turned a sensational season into, he's close to being dropped now. He is still the joint second top scorer in the league, so I'm struggling to drop him so far. I know what you lot are like in the comments section as well. If I drop him now, it'll be like, Kev, Brewster was top scorer. Why did you drop him? So I just want this. Take a screenshot of this. Keep it on your phone if you have to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games where he's not made it above a 7, and he only got to the 7 once. The other 8 of those 9 games, he's not made it above a 6.5. Not a sniff of a goal, not a sniff of an assist. He has been awful for 9 games now. He'll play today, but I don't know how much longer we can play him for, especially when his understudy, the guy who's pushing him for his spot, Dempster, is actually playing quite well. When he gets an opportunity, he came off the bench there and scored. We started him out wide there, but when we play him up front, he does tend to score. He scored there against Derby playing as a striker. In the last episode, he scored against Forest Green coming on for Brewster playing as a striker. He's not getting much opportunity to play as a striker, but when he gets an opportunity, he's had 60 minutes playing as a striker for us this season and scored 2 goals. So he's close. He is close to displacing Brewster in this starting 11. Hopefully Brewster comes back to form today. That's what we're all hoping for. We want Brewster to be a star. It was fun having someone in the Dream 11, and Dempster's never going to have the reputation to get in there ahead of him, even if he ends up as a better player, because reputation is so crucial to that Dream 11 thing. So this is a team that we're sending to face Ipswich, who we have played really recently. It's a weird way the fixtures have fallen. We played Ipswich away from home 4 games ago. Now we've got the home fixture against them. And I don't think we're even at the halfway point of the season yet. We're not. But we're playing Ipswich for a second time. Weird fixture list. But this is the 11. We're going with Bezic in goal, a back four of Ullman, Kitching, Welch and Lewis. Remember when I said Welch wasn't really going to play? I guess it's a weird thing where he's not actually playing a huge amount, but he always seems to play in the videos. But he's averaging a 7.47. He is very quickly becoming my preferred choice at centre-back. As you can see, in the last, 8 games, he's started 4 of them. He is getting closer and closer to being a starting centre-back for me. The thing is, obviously, we've got Kitching and Ballard, who are both very good. So he's not playing every game. I think we've got 3 very good centre-backs there. And poor old Hughes, who'd been here for a long time as a starting centre-back, he's kind of been pushed by the wayside because of it, because he's an old man. He's 30 years old. So, as I was saying, the back four, Ullman, Kitching, Welch and Lewis, Santiago and Anderson together in midfield, Gallagher, Luan Silva and Nelson then supporting Brewster up front. And I can't believe I've not mentioned the real headline news because I've only just remembered it. I've only gone and signed a new contract, a massive new contract. They've doubled my salary. Anyone who had any qualms about me leaving Leamington, where I was earning less than £1,000 a week, less than a year ago, we came in here on £3,500 and I've now signed a new 3-year contract on £6,500 a week. I could buy another mansion. This is crazy money. And I mean, what do you expect? We're in the playoff spots nearly at the halfway point of the season. My goal is still mid-table. I still think that we start to fall down the league at some point. I don't think we can sustain this for the entire season. I know in the last episode I talked about, well, what if Brewster leaves? It's probably less of a what if Brewster leaves now. It's more of a case of any of these could leave and we're left with a bit of a hole in the squad. Kitching is attracting interest from Brighton. If we let him go, yeah, we could go with Ballard and Welch, but we don't have much as a backup because we've already kind of written off Old Man Hughes, who himself might be leaving. He's on the transfer list. But there are players throughout the squad who could end up departing. I mean, Newcastle are after Lundqvist. He's not even broken into our team yet. He's getting substitute appearances. He's not even starting yet, and Newcastle are after him. So we could have the rug pulled out from under us. I expect we probably will. But on the flip side of that, if Brewster comes back into form, we've got 9 games with Brewster not really turning up. We've got 9 games where we've almost been playing with 10 men, and we're still in 6th place. What a difference Brewster coming back into form could make. So we could end up pushing even higher up the league. It's a strange season. We're a strange club, and the board have recognised it and thrown cash at me, and I am all for having cash thrown at me at any and all opportunity. The ball goes all the way back to Bezic here, now Kitching to Welch, and we're just knocking the ball around nicely, getting a feel for the game and trying to play a ball into Brewster, who is in behind here. And again, I mean, earlier on in the season, I know that's led to a goal. Gallagher, we know, is a big threat at that far post with the header. But Brewster, I don't know. I think earlier in the year, he takes that touch and then hits it across goal. Because he's out of form, he takes a heavier touch, takes it out wide. But, I mean, it does still lead to the goal. He does still hold the ball up nicely, play it back to Nelson, and we do end up scoring. So you can't criticise him too heavily for it. I just think he looks like a different player now. He's not. His first instinct isn't to shoot anymore, and we've not changed anything about his player instructions. He is still playing as an advanced forward. We're still playing on an attacking or a positive mentality. You would expect him to take the shot on in those situations, and for whatever reason, he's changed up the way he's playing, and he's not scoring because of it. But I don't know, maybe he links up the front four nicely. Maybe we're playing well because he's still in the team and he's just not getting the credit for it. Similar to what we often see with central midfielders, attacking midfielders. Certainly in the way I line up, these kind of positions never get good ratings. So much of the focus is on the wide areas, the wingers, the fullbacks and strong centre-backs. Maybe we're just not set up to get the best out of Brewster. But then how does that explain scoring a goal a game for the first 20 games across 2 seasons that he played for at the club? It makes no sense. I don't understand why he stopped scoring, and I'd like him to start scoring again, because as much fun as it is winning football matches and being in the playoffs, I think you all know by now, my most satisfying thing in Football Manager is having a striker get 40 goals over the course of the season. I love it more than winning, and I want Brewster to become a superstar again. Right, Rico Lewis, just before half-time, has picked up a knock here. We don't have a right back on the bench, which seems like a bit of an oversight. Lundqvist can come on and Ullman can go across to right back. It's another opportunity to get Lundqvist into the side, which is no bad thing. I mean, it does mean Ullman is playing on his weak foot for the rest of the game now out at right back. But 1-0 at half-time. We'll take this for sure. I don't know how good Ipswich are. Ipswich are hovering just above the relegation zone, so it's not that impressive trying to be 1-0 up on them. And what is a little more impressive is the fact we've limited them to just the 1 shot in the entire match so far, which is a good thing. Bezic coming out and claiming that comfortably. I know, see, I'm catching up with the comments now from over Christmas when I had all the videos recorded in advance. There was a lot of worry when Bezic came in about his aerial ability, about his handling. I think his handling attribute is only 7, which probably should be a worry. Luckily, I don't concern myself with things like attributes. They're not important. And I think you saw an example of it there. I've not seen any issue with Bezic and his handling in nearly half a season now of him being our first choice goalkeeper. So I have no concerns. Just having a low attribute number, that ain't going to concern me. He did fine just there. I think this goal's been ruled out for offside. Gallagher looking to grab his second of the game. But he is, in fact, it's not Gallagher who's offside, it's Ullman who's offside. And costing Gallagher the goal because of it. Like, to be fair, he did play the nice little crossover to Gallagher. So he both created and cost him his second goal of the game. Right, we have a lot of tired legs on this pitch. I think before Christmas, I had a plan for this kind of situation, which I haven't actually been using, and it's just come back to me. We do have this second system for situations like this. In fact, it's not really, it's more for situations where we're 2-0 up and we want to just take the foot off the gas a little bit. I wonder, because of how tired everyone is and how many fixtures we're playing, maybe it is a time to just go to the foot off the gas, lower tempo system and hope that we can kind of nurse some of these players through the rest of the match. Elliott's going to come on in central midfield, and I think we probably need to take off Brewster and bring on Dempster. I know he's not the tiredest player on the pitch, but he's playing so poorly again. We've got to consistently send the message to him that he can't just turn in a, what has that been, a 6.6, 6.7 today? He can't turn in a poor performance like that and expect to stay in the team. That's not how it works. So Dempster gets another opportunity, even though we are taking the foot off the gas a little bit. We're down to a balanced mentality, a lower tempo. It's not our typical way of playing, but we're just trying to maintain some fitness for the rest of the game. Nelson crosses to Dempster, and I thought he was going to grab himself another goal. I think if Dempster scores there and makes it 3 goals from 75, 80 minutes playing as a striker, I think at that point we probably have to start him in the next game, because Brewster is... He needs a message sending to him, maybe, that he's not nailed on starter. I think that might be the problem. He just thinks he can do what he likes and stay in the team. That's not how it is. Oh, that's unfortunate. This is the problem. This is why I don't like to take the foot off the pedal, because you get into the 91st minute and that happens. And it wouldn't have happened. I mean, it probably would. It was a wonder goal. But it wouldn't have happened if we'd have carried on pressing. AB. That was frustrating. We should have beaten them. It turns out we did beat them. I've just gone back and reviewed the tapes because I got to this screen. I'm like, what? What? It did say at the bottom that the goal had been disallowed. So I don't know what it was disallowed for. It was a thunderous effort, but we did beat them. Yay. Tactics. Let's go. I don't know what went. I don't know. Let's go and win another football match. Yeah, definitely thinking we perhaps needed to switch to the lower tempo system a little bit earlier in that last game. I am finally dropping Brewster, but can't put Dempster in up front because fitness issues elsewhere in the team mean Dempster's going to have to play on the left-hand side. We're actually starting several players who aren't fully fit. In fact, we're going to bring Lundqvist in for Ullman. That's an easy one in there, but we don't have an obvious replacement for Santiago because Elliott's already coming in to play alongside him because we've got suspensions to Anderson and Kitching. McCormick and Clarkson still injured. Kilic, the centre-back, right-back, the big boy, still injured. Rico Lewis, still not fully fit. And then we've got Silva, who's absolutely shattered. We've got... Who else? Nelson, we've had to take out because he's injured. Gallagher, not injured, tired. Gallagher because he's tired. We are running low on players. So this is the 11 that we're managing to put out there. Bezic in goal. A back four of Lundqvist, Welch, Hughes and Walters. Elliott and Santiago in midfield. Dempster on the left-hand side. Radoni and Ennis then supporting Hugill up front. Maybe this is the kick up the backside that Brewster needs. Look at all the 8 changes from that last match. All pretty much forced upon me. I'd like to have been able to make 9. I'd like to have had a backup for Santiago, but as it is, he's going to play not fully fit and captain the team for the first time. I know you love Santiago. I like Santiago. I think he's brilliant. He's another one of my midfielders who just chugs along, never doing anything spectacular, making everything else work. There's a section of the comment section that hates that kind of player because they don't get good average ratings. I love him. If you just watch him playing, he's just linking everything together. It's all just linking together, doing his work quietly, never doing anything spectacular. He doesn't need to. There's 4 players ahead of him who are there to do the spectacular. He's there just to be tidy, and he's a very tidy player, and he runs a lot. That's what I want from a central midfielder. Tidy and energetic. We've definitely got that in Iago Santiago, which is why he's captain today. Because he deserves it. And it was the one that was auto-picked. But I think deserving it is more important than the auto-picking, one could argue. We are, I mean, Hull are another team who aren't great. They're down in the bottom half of the table, but the team we've put out, I'm not expecting to get much out of this game today because we're a bunch of tired boys. Welch playing yet again, this time partnering Hughes, but it looks like he's picked up a knock in this first half. Have we got a centre-back on the bench? Kitching suspended. Ballard, I think, is still away on his little rest. Aaron Burrow, who we signed at the end of the summer and then got injured immediately, he's only 5'9", theoretically can play centre-back. He's a full-back who can play either side. I really want to have to play him as centre-back. Welch is just going to have to play on. He'll be fine. It will all be fine. Santiago is now tired as well, and the forgotten man, Tyrese John Jules, is being suggested to come on for him. That ain't going to happen. We're probably going to sell him in January if we can, and probably try and bring in another central midfielder. I've got one in mind who, if we manage to pull it off, I'll show you it in the next episode, possibly even two coming in. Central midfield is definitely an area I think we need to strengthen. Welch, we just don't have anyone who can play there. Ruel Walters is 5'10" and accomplished at centre-back. And then John Aaron Burrow, 5'9" and accomplished at centre-back. Really don't think either of them are the solution. Welch is just going to have to play on. And I think Kitching's only suspended for one match, and Ballard should be back from his week of rest as well. So even if we break Welch, we've got the other two. The first choice two will be back for the next match. Hull haven't really created anything, but then neither have we. I don't know that playing Hugill up front is the answer. All of the neighbourhood dogs apparently disagree with the decision as well, so they're making all sorts of noise about it. We are going to take off Santiago, and what can we even do here? I think we have to go two up top. We've got quite a few strikers. Let's bring on Brewster and then figure out what to do from there. So Radoni can go back to there. Brewster can go up front. And Hugill is naturally a target man, I think. So, yeah. So we'll put him as a target man. But we'll put him on attack. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. So he can go there doing that. Dempster. In fact, I'm going to put Dempster up front. We're going to take Hugill off. Dempster. Can Brewster play a different role? I don't really want two target men up there. We'll play him as a poacher. We'll try something different for Brewster and get Dempster up there playing as an advanced forward. We're actually going to swap them over because Dempster's left-footed. Although I think Brewster might be as well. No, he's right-footed. Okay. Hugill is going to come off for Gallagher. And then the defence. I mean, there's nothing we can really do there, other than, I guess, not make another substitution. So if one of them goes off injured, we go to Aaron Burrow as the last resort. I think we are going to go attacking, though. We should be beating Hull. We're going to demand more. And we're going to hope that this new look front two has got a goal in them somehow. Come on, let this be the return of Brewster to form. He's had to sit the game out. We've brought him on. Maybe bringing him on and saying, actually, we needed you after all wasn't the best way to send him a message. But Dempster's just lurking, waiting for a mistake from the goalkeeper. And Hughes has missed his header there, and Hull are in, and they have scored. And I mean, that is very, very against the run of play and really quite upsetting. But I mean, once again, we've been caught out by the system that we're playing and the size of the squad. We certainly don't deserve to lose 2-0, but we also can't do a high press week in, week out with a squad of effectively 19, 20 players who are actually first team level, because we end up fielding teams like this and then having teams that end up looking like this by the end of the match who are all shattered. We need to use that control possession system a little bit more often, I think, because we shouldn't have lost that game. So we've been poor in both those matches today. But let's apply context. We're only supposed to be avoiding relegation this season, and we'll all be happy with mid-table. We're still in a playoff spot at the halfway point. The season is going exceptionally well. Let's just ignore what we've just seen in the last 20 minutes of that match. Brewster's getting criticised now. Right, we will be back, of course, tomorrow. And I guess we probably have to show you Newcastle. It's an interesting game, isn't it? We'll do Newcastle. We might have brought in a couple of more players by then as well, which would be nice. How are we playing Newcastle? What is with the fixtures this season? We're playing Newcastle in consecutive league games. Well, that's going to be good for morale, isn't it? And then we'll get a Premier League team away from home in between the two as well. So we'll have 3 big defeats in the second half of the season. Will be a write-off. Who do I write to about this? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.